The Thanksgiving leftovers were soured by this CU Nebraska game.
And we'll take a look at the action around the final week of the Big 12 regular season.
And basketball's back in Boulder. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Or just say CU Sports Mag. Now.
Hello and welcome to CU Sports Mag. It's our last show of the semester, my last show ever. I'm Amanda Blackwell, and I get to anchor with my sister, Katie Blackwell.
So let's just get into those Nebraska highlights right off the start. 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. DeLallo sends a punt 43 yards, and it is caught by Niles Paul. He runs it back 59 yards into the end zone. Special teams has been an issue for Colorado this year, and this is made very clear during this play. Starting the second quarter, 1st and 10 at the Colorado 24, Zach Lee sends it 24 yards, and tight end Ben Cotton catches it 14-0 Nebraska. 10 minutes passed off the game clock. Buffs marched all the way down the field and gave Tyler Hansen the opportunity to find Jake Behrens in the end zone. 14-7 Cornhuskers. 3:15 left in the half. 3rd and 7 at the Colorado 16. Tyler Hansen's pass intercepted by Nebraska's Matt O'Hanlon.
Not to be confused with our own Matt Hanlon.
And he will take it back all the way down for a touchdown. 21-7 Nebraska. Now let's take a look back at that in the replay. Hansen trying to get it to the ball to Marcus Seamus, but O'Hanlon says, "Top of the morning to you, Tyler," and that is a pick 6.
All right, second half, 8 minutes in. Colorado has 2nd and goal at the Nebraska 6, and hey, something good for the Buffs, 21-14 Huskers. End of the third quarter, 3rd and 10 at CU's own 17, and Tyler Hansen finds Marcus Seamus, who takes it 58 yards. Unfortunately, the drive ended a missed 52-yard field goal, so the Buffs didn't capitalize. CU looked like they could make a game of it, and down by 7 with 7 minutes left, Rex Burkhead effectively put the game out of reach with this 7-yard rush. Burkhead ran for 100 yards in the game, but the Buffs would at the very least go out in style. Last play of the game, Hansen finds Scotty McKnight for a 56-yard touchdown. They wouldn't kick the extra point, and the game ended 28-20 Nebraska. And by Scotty's body language, you can tell he's not happy. Tyler Hansen threw 21 of 44, 269 yards. He had 3 TDs, and Scotty McKnight had 114 yards receiving. All right, well, let's take a look at the Big 12 highlights. It was the last week of Big 12 regular season play before the Big 12 title game. So let's go right into those highlights as well. Mac Brown and Mike Sherman chatting it up before the game. We're going to start at the very end of the half. Jared Johnson finds Howard Morrow. A&M ties it up at 21. We're in the fourth quarter now. 12 minutes left, and Colt McCoy connects with James Kirkendall on 3rd and 12. Kirkendall will take it 47 yards into the end zone. It's now 42-32. Now pay attention because a whole bunch is about to go down. A&M has 2nd and 6. Jared Johnson hits Jeff Fuller for 20 yards and a touchdown, 42-39 Texas. But then immediately after on the kickoff, with 7 minutes left in the game, Marquise Goodwin puts the final nail in A&M's coffin. He'll see your 65-yard kickoff with a 95-yard return for a touchdown. Texas wins 49-39.
Now let's take a look at the KU versus Missouri game. 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Kansas has 3rd and 18 at the Missouri 34, and Todd Reesing will send it almost 34 yards to Tim Beer, who technically goes down at the 1 yard, but they will have a chance to punch it in, making it 14-3 Kansas. With 7 minutes left in the game, 2nd and 5 at the Kansas 17, Reesing passes it off to Desmond Briscoe. He gets it stripped, pops it up into the air and right into the hands of Gon McGoffel, and he will take it back to the Kansas 5. Missouri will score, making it 14-10 Kansas. Fourth quarter, Briscoe runs it 74 yards and scores a touchdown. But unfortunately, Kansas did lose it on a field goal at the end of the game.
And it was announced yesterday that Mark Mangino will not be returning with Kansas. But let's get into the Oklahoma and number 12 Oklahoma State game. In the second quarter, DeMarco Murray does his best Superman impression into the end zone, 10-0 Sooners. Third quarter, more bad luck for OSU. Jonathan Nelson intercepts Zach Robinson and takes it back to Oklahoma's own 27. And then it's just too easy for Murray. He pushes it in for the TD on the second play of the series, 20-0 Sooners. They blank their in-state rivals 27-0. And following the 2005 football season, Colorado replaced Gary Barnett as head coach with Boise State's Dan Hawkins and charged him with reconstructing a program mired in scandal. Fast forward to 2009, and Hawkins has cleaned up the program off the field, but has failed to do so on the gridiron. Under Coach Hawk, Colorado has only managed one bowl appearance, a 30-24 loss to Alabama in the 2007 Independence Bowl, no division or conference titles, and a 2-20 record away from Folsom Field. As a result, many considered Hawkins to be on the hot seat coming into 2009. Now, despite posting just a 3-9 record in his fourth year, Hawkins will remain the Buffalo's head coach entering 2010. While there is speculation that Hawkins kept his job because Colorado can't afford his $3 million buyout, Athletic Director Mike Bones insists that money was not the determining factor and that Hawkins is the right coach for CU at this time.
CU football's left tackle, Nate Solders, was officially named a first-team member of the coach's All-Big 12 team. The announcement came Tuesday, and Solders was the only Buff on the first team. Solders started every game this season as Colorado's left tackle. Tight end Ryer Gear and cornerback Chappelle Brown were named second team. 9 other Buffs were given honorable mentions.
Bernard Jackson, former member of the CU football team, was released from prison on Tuesday after being sentenced to 5 years in January for armed robbery following a June 2008 break-in to a Boulder apartment. Jackson will complete the rest of his 5-year sentence on probation, and one of his former Buff teammates, Tyler Columbus, who is now a Denver Bronco, has offered Bernard a place in his home. Jackson appeared in 12 games for the Buffs from 2004 to 2005 on special teams, running back, and receiver, and started all but one game at quarterback for Colorado in 2006. In 2007, Jackson was a team captain, but his grades suffered and he lost eligibility. All right, well, coming up after the break, it's all basketball all the time.
We'll take a look at both the men's and the women's games and break down what the action is.
I'm a good student.
We don't want to
why
be
are you
at
guys
your
busting
party
me?
any more than you want us here.
What could we have done to avoid this?
Keep the noise down so no one complains.
Hey, guys, keep it down. The neighbors are complaining.
Make sure anyone drinking alcohol is at least 21.
You sure you're old enough?
And finally, make sure that you don't have too many people.
Man, that would have been easy. I wish I had known the rules. Now you know. Avoid trouble. Know the rules.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Well, the men's basketball team came off a fairly successful Maui Invitational to play University of San Francisco last Tuesday night. So let's just take a look at those highlights and how they did in that game. All right, the University of Colorado returned home to the Coors Event Center on Tuesday night after playing 3 games at the Maui Invitational. They would take on the University of San Francisco. There's the Dons, the men in green. Corey Higgins is the team's leading scorer, averaging 20.7 points per game, and I have a feeling he's going to add a little bit to that in this game tonight. The first half was tighter than it should have been, though. Paris Blackwell, too many Blackwells in this show, bites off Dufault with a couple offensive rebounds. He had 9 boards total to lead his team. And now 7 minutes in, Dante Bryan finds Blackwell again under the net. Tomlinson and Relford are powerless. Don's up 14-12. But then the Buffs answer back, and it's the Aussie from the top of the key for 2. Tomlinson had 6 on the night. And with 10 minutes left in the half, Corey Higgins from inside the arc, that's just pretty. Liking what I've seen from this freshman so far, Alec Burks draws the and one, has to high-five a photographer, of course. Michael Williams making the Buffs a little uncomfortable before half, 4:15 left, and I think Bizdelic is going to need to call a timeout, kind of sort some things out here, talk through his team, and Corey Higgins definitely got the message, bites off several defenders, and there's 2 more of his game-high 22 points. This is the team we saw in Maui. Thorne to Relford, who finds Shane Harris-Tunks for 2 more. Relford had 6 assists to lead the game. And after halftime, the Buffs began to run away with it. Austin Dufault puts the Buffs up by 23. The freshman Burks, once again, from outside the arc, and Coach Bizdelic appreciates the effort. And 1 more assist from Marcus Relford to Corey Higgins. He's king of this court, and he's going to let the Dons know it. Buffs win 78-54, and Corey Higgins put up 22 points in this game. He had 3 rebounds. Alec Burks, the freshman, 12 points, 3 rebounds. And Paris Blackwell, 10 points, 9 rebounds for the University of San Francisco. Now let's hear what Coach Bizdelic had to say.
I know offense is a variable, but we have some guys who can score. If we're unselfish and the spacing is good and the appropriate cuts are made and we don't turn it over and share it, like I said, we'll get opportunities to score.
Like last year, I think people were just running offense to run offense. And this year, people are being aggressive at all times, putting pressure on the defense, and so it's a lot different.
The women's basketball team had a great start to the month when they took on the University of Denver on Wednesday, December 2nd. It was a good night for senior Courtney Dunn, who had a career high of 16 points, as well as Britney Spears, who scored 17 points during the game and came out with stitches in her lip. Denver only took the lead twice during this game, and the most CU led by was 29 whole points. However, the final score ended up being 84-57, so the Buffs only won by 27 points. Ooh, close game. This is the 5th win that the Buffs have had this season and their 3rd win in a row. Let's see what Coach had to say.
Overall performance, really proud, particularly with some of our younger players that just consistently get better every time they step on the floor. Chucky is around the rim, Chucky's a jump shooter, and is really starting to feel that. So when you have players that can drive and create some shots, you're going to have more attempts. I just thought we played a high possession game. I thought we were more aggressive in the second half. Tonight was the first night that Britney Spears got a steal and a layup on it. And I was so happy.
Basketball team heads to Corvallis, Oregon to open against the Oregon State Beavers in the 3rd annual Big 12 and Pac-10 series. This year's lineup of games will include the Missouri Tigers versus the Oregon Ducks this Saturday, and on Sunday the Kansas Jayhawks take on the Bruins of UCLA. Last season the two leagues tied 6-6. The Buffs will tip off the tournament this Friday at 9 p.m. All right, well, Kai Cummings and Matt Hanlon are over on our double team set, and they're going to be breaking down the basketball game this week.
Take it away, guys.
Welcome to this week's edition of Double Team. I'm Matt Hanlon alongside Kai Cummings. And with the football season ending, we're going to talk about a little bit CU basketball. Now, last year in their 2009 season, they were 9-22, 1-15 in conference. But this year, they've had a really good start, 5-2, and they've had some big wins against Arkansas Pine Bluff, Coppin State, and Texas Southern, all winning over 80 points. And you haven't seen that from the Buffaloes, back-to-back-to-back 80-point wins.
Absolutely, but after that strong start that the Buffs had, they went off to Maui Paradise. And first off, Matt, it's a little bit of a different story, even when playing indoors, coming from the freezer, that's Boulder, Colorado, and going to Paradise, which is Maui. And really, we saw them play very strong against two very tough teams. Gonzaga University, they lost 72-76. All the way down to the wire. I actually saw that one. Arizona, they took Arizona into overtime, which has been not for a while that we've been able to do that with a Pac-10 team.
Yeah, and like you said, Gonzaga, they're ranked right now. It was a close game. We were up at 12 at half. We were once up at 15 points, and we just couldn't close the door. And that, I think, has been the problem for these Buffaloes last year, and hopefully it doesn't continue this year. It's really hard to see. And then Arizona, they pushed it to OT. And their guard just lit it up from three, had 6 3-pointers in OT. So it's unfortunate they couldn't close out the door. But it was nice to see them come back against Host Chaminade and get a win, 73-58, and then come back home to Boulder and win against USF San Francisco, 78-54. And so, the Buffs struggled last year. They'd get down on themselves, lose a couple games, and then couldn't come back and get on a roll. And it's good to see them, staying positive and getting a win.
Absolutely, Matt. I mean, you're looking at the early season stars so far, and Corey Higgins has just been lighting it up on offense and on defense, but he's averaging about 20.7 points per game, 17 assists on the season, and plus you can't forget about that average 3.9 rebounds per game.
Yeah, it's solid to have a young guy and, one of the point guards, a shooting guard, get down there and get some rebounds. Now you got the Gatorade Player of the Year from Grandview, Missouri, Alec Burks.
Straight out of high school.
Yeah, 15.6 points per game, 10 assists, and 3.6 rebounds. So along with Higgins, He's been really contributing. And also Austin Default, the center right now, the true sophomore.
Yeah, he was a freshman last year, has improved upon his play this year, averaging 8.7 points per game, and he's getting about 4.7 rebounds a game. So he's their big guy inside, and that's what you need. That's what you look for as a coach of the Buffs basketball team.
Yeah, but he needs to step up his inside play a little bit and start getting a little more rebounds. He's getting beat down low. But I think as the season continues and, Shane Harris-Tux gets a little more play,
absolutely.
we'll be able to get on the boards.
Matt, talking about some surprise performances this year, who has kind of stood out for you that you haven't really seen that much of or didn't see that much last year?
Well, you had Nate Tomlinson last year. He started most of the season. But this year starting, he was the sixth man. He's coming off the bench. You don't know how that's going to affect a guy who was starting all of last year. But he has been a spark plug, 7.7 points per game, 38 assists on the year, and 3.6 rebounds.
Exactly. Spark plug is perfectly correct. 38 assists, and that's off the bench, Matt. That's exactly what you want from a six-man type of player like Nate Tomlinson. Also, we want to check out Marcus Relford. He's a junior college transfer. He's averaging 9.3 points per game, and he's actually worked himself onto the starting lineup, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's been playing. Shannon Sharp got injured early. They needed a big man down low.
Yeah.
So he's been getting a lot of PT. 9.3 points, 18 assists and 3.1 rebounds. He's been a body down low, and he's been really good on the defensive side. So he's a slasher too, and he can get inside just like Alec Burks.
All right, so we've touched on early stars and surprise performances, but now let's talk about some disappointing performances, guys that haven't really held their weight this year on this team.
Well, Dwight Thorne, last year he had 8 points per game. Now he's got, last year he had, 12 points per game. Now he has 8 points per game. So he's not contributing as much considering we're scoring a little more. And the Buffs are getting, not a lot of PT from him and not a lot of, good contributions from him.
And you need that from a guy who's the only senior on this team. He needs to get his offensive productivity up, definitely by this upcoming game. Now let's talk about some keys to success. What have the Buffs done this year that have been phenomenal in terms of last year?
Well, they've had good passing, forcing turnovers, free throws has helped them. They've been making their free throws when they need to. And, you've seen a lot of crowd turnout, and it's really been good, and it's been positive for the Buffs. And then, they head up to Oregon State. They got Colorado Christian, and then they got to go up to Fulco to face off against Colorado State.
Absolutely, and we're looking for a big win at all those places, actually. And that will actually do us for Double Team. He's Matt Hanlon, I'm Kai Cummings, and thanks for stopping by.
After a strong showing in the Maui tournament, the CU women's basketball team is looking to make it to another tournament, the NCAA tournament, which brings us to our trivia question. How long ago was the men's basketball team's last appearance in the Big Dance? Mull it over and we'll be back with the answer shortly. When we come back, we'll reveal our last athlete of the week of the semester.
And find out what's going on in the world of cross country. Stick around.
Can you pass the salt, Dad?
Yay.
Salt is to pepper as gregarious is to...
Oh, no, not more SAT questions.
In ancient Rome, salt was a form of currency. True or false?
False?
True.
Son, can you locate sodium?
Or chloride?
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
You have 3.5 grams of salt and a 5-gram slug. What's the rate of shrivel?
In America, you are not required to offer food to the hungry or shelter to the homeless. There is no ordinance forcing you to visit the lonely. In fact, nowhere in the Constitution does it say you have to provide anything for anybody. Thank you for all you've given. Imagine what more could do.
Football cornerback Chappelle Brown finished his CU career in style. Brown racked up 11 tackles in last week's game, finishing the season with 96 tackles. On Sunday, he also became the third defender in a row to claim CU's MVP award. His outstanding performance makes him this week's CU Sports Mag's Athlete of the Week.
Colorado's outstanding cross-country freshman Allie McLaughlin was a top performer for the Buffs at the 2009 NCAA Division I cross-country championships in Terre Haute, Indiana. McLaughlin finished 5th overall out of a field of over 250 runners. Allie finished 15 seconds behind the winner, Angela Bizzari of the University of Illinois. McLaughlin was the highest placed freshman in the championship, having only the other freshman to place in the top 10. Allie will participate in the USA Cross Country Championship team trials taking place in Spokane, Washington in February of 2010.
One of the best athletes in Buff history will graduate next week, and no, it's not me. In her 4.5 years here at CU, Jenny Behringer has won 5 NCAA titles, 4 Big 12 titles, has been named Athlete of the Year 3 times, set 6 NCAA records, 7 CU records, 1 world record, and represented CU in the World Olympics. She became the 3rd American female to ever run a mile below 4 minutes and is the 8th fastest woman in the world for the steeplechase. But her success won't stop here at CU. The senior recently signed with the Flynn Sports Management to represent her in her professional running career. Behringer will continue to train in Boulder and also spend her time as a volunteer track coach, giving back to the team.
The Buffs volleyball senior Caitlin Burkett accomplished her 3,001st assist in a loss to Nebraska this weekend. This made her the 6th Buff in CU history to record more than 3,000. Along with her high number of assists, Burkett totaled 244 kills, 552 digs, and 149 blocks in her CU career. The Buffs finished the 2009 season with a 722 overall record, finishing 10th in the Big 12.
And Andrew Tomasini went to the UMC to find out how students felt about Dan Hawkins returning for the 2010 season for this week's Man on the Street.
After another heartbreaking season, it was announced before the CU-Nebraska game that Coach Dan Hawkins would be back for the 2010-2011 season. So we went to campus to find out if students thought this was a good idea.
I know he did great things in Boise, but I think we just need a coach with a little bit more experience.
I think that they were blaming a lot of the inexperience of the football team on the coach, and usually football coaches take a couple years to kind of turn around a team.
Well, if Dan Hawkins supports a zero-waste football stadium and carbon-neutral athletics program, we would definitely like him back here on the campus as our football coach.
I think that the decision isn't in our hands, and as students, no matter what, we need to support our football team.
Charlie Wise from Notre Dame, 5th year he has a winning record, but he got fired. So I don't see any reason why CU should still keep Hawkins.
I mean, it's not even there's no productivity. We've been just going down instead of going up.
You see him doing nothing on the sidelines. He's too quiet. I never see him speak up. I never see him angry. He's too happy all the time.
I want Mike Shanahan. I'm going to say it right now. I think we need to rally together to get that.
As you can tell, the reactions were mixed, and hopefully the long winter will help out Coach Hawkins in year number 5. For CU Sports Mag, I'm Andrew Tomasini.
Thanks, Andrew. Coming up, we'll find out the answer to that trivia question and find out if it's ever going to get any warmer around here.
I don't know. It's cold.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
Do you think you figured out the answer to that trivia question yet? To refresh your memory, the question was, how long ago was the men's basketball team's last appearance in the Big Dance? The answer is 2003, and the Buffs had their last win in the tournament in 1997. Maybe CU can be a part of the March Madness this season.
All right, and Matt Seawick is going to tell us if it's ever going to get any warmer around here.
I don't know, it's been cold.
Thanks, guys. I'm Matthew Seawick, and I'm going to give you the local forecast over the next couple days to see when you should go skiing and when you should stay in. Now, looking at the national fronts, we do see a high-pressure system over Colorado, which means it will be fairly sunny for the next couple days. But there will be a low-pressure system moving down into Boulder, meaning in a few days there will be a big snowstorm. Now looking at the temperatures over the nation, we can see a lot of yellow and green, which means most of the nation has cooled down into those 40s and 30s, with the Rocky Mountains into the teens. Now looking at the local weather, we have some sun on Friday and Saturday, but it won't warm up too much as far as the temperatures are still around the freezing temperature. And at nights, it will go down to the teens, so there will be a lot of ice overnight, and you're going to have to be careful. Sunday, we will have some snow most of the day, and there will be some significant cloud coverage. Now, CU did end their season, but the Broncos are still looking for a playoff spot. They're taking on their rival Kansas City, and at 1 o'clock, it should be around 38 degrees. And fortunately, since it's not in Denver, it will only be mostly cloudy, so it should be pretty good weather there. Now, all this snow talk has made me kind of want to go skiing. My 4 recommendations, we have A-Basin, Breckenridge, Copper, and Eldora. Definitely, I would say choose maybe Breckenridge or Eldora. I'm definitely going to Breckenridge tomorrow. So definitely, I would say hopefully go up to the slopes one of these days. But if you do go out, I would suggest definitely bundling up because it will be freezing the whole weekend. But I would suggest not going out on Sunday as it might be pretty icy and snowy.
All right, well, it looks like it's not going to get any nicer, I guess.
Do you think it's going to be way too cold to ski, or do you think it'll be worth it?
I definitely don't go on Sunday. I would say if you want to go skiing, definitely go either today or tomorrow.
Okay,
Sounds
great.
good.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
well, we have something coming up next.
Yeah, now we have our very special package to tribute our very own Amanda Blackwell and all of her hard work that she's done here.
And we all just really wanted to show our appreciation, so let's take a look at that.
Welcome back to another edition of CU Sports Mag. I'm Mike Trevi alongside
Amanda Blackwell. After a tough loss to the Longhorns, the Buffs returned to Folsom Field to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Would they be able to stuff the Birds and regain their momentum?
So I'm going to miss you a lot. I'm going to miss having someone to always reference friends with. It's probably what I'm going to miss most about you. So good luck.
Well, Amanda, I think everyone can say that you are extremely professional and bring tons of experience to the table, and I think it'll greatly be missed. And I just want to say good luck in your.
This is the second straight year the Buffs have swept the Aggies in Texas. CU recorded 70 kills on the night as setter Ashley Newton dished out 58 assists.
Hey Amanda, I just want to say thank you for introducing me to CU Sports Mag via Twitter, of course. And hopefully I see you in the Bay Area broadcasting some Bay Area sports. All right, good luck.
I wish you the best of luck in the future, and hopefully I'll see you on TV. Good luck.
I'm just going to say we're really going to miss you. I know I personally will. You've been a mentor to me as soon as right off the bat when I joined Sports Mag, and I really appreciate everything you've taught me. And I hope that we stay in touch in the future, and best of luck to you. You're going to do so great.
And since then, it's been such a great time working with you and improving the show and doing all the fun stuff we've gotten to do. But I'm going to miss you, and I hope that whatever you do in the future is right up your alley. I'm sure it will be.
Hello and welcome to Double Team. I'm Amanda Blackwell, sitting alongside Kylie Burth. And because the season is starting tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about men's basketball. They start tonight at 7 o'clock against the New Mexico Lobos. And last year, they didn't fare so well against New Mexico. They lost by a margin of 41 points.
Amanda, you've been the best role model that any of us in Sports Mag ever could have had. You know absolutely everything about everything, and I know that I'm going to see you on national TV one day, and I can't wait.
Amanda, you've always been there for me. Always took the new person under your wing.
I know you're going to do great wherever you find a job, and I hope you keep in touch.
But after 4 years were up, Colorado and Newton found they couldn't part ways, and this year she enters the program as an undergraduate coach.
You've been a great teacher the last year and a half, and you've provided me with a lot of opportunities to learn and to help myself improve. I'm sure that whatever you do, when you get out of here, you're going to be very successful.
You've taught everybody so much, and good luck in whatever life's got going for you. And
yeah, we learned a lot, definitely, and we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, good luck. There are many who dream of playing on this field, but for Marquez Herod, the road to CU was more difficult than for most. Much of his youth was spent in foster homes and on and off the street. What led to you living in foster care?
Whatever you're going to do in life, which is probably end up being calling A's games or being the on-air talent for the Oakland A's. You're going to be amazing in that. You're so good on camera, it's not even funny.
I'm going to miss you, and I know you're going to have a great time. So
Have a good one, dude. And we'll grab tea sometime or something like that. It's going to be fun. Hey, Blackwell. I just want to wish you the best of luck in the future. It's been a lot of fun working with you these last 3 years. It's kind of funny to think that we're kind of the last ones left of another generation of sports mag. So I wish you the best of luck, and I know you're going to dominate wherever you go.
Thank you for forcing me to do sports mag. Not like forcing me, but getting me to do it because I've met great friends, and I've learned a lot from you, and I'm going to miss you. I don't know what sports mag is going to be like because Russell's going to be in charge.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us on CU Sports Mag.
Indeed it is. Thank you for watching the show today, and we hope you can get out and watch the Buffs this weekend.
All right, well, thanks, guys. Especially, I know Kylie, Vince, Luke, Russell, everyone that I was annoying when I was in the edit bay all week because I had to work on something. Thank you so much for making that. That was really sweet. And it's my last show. I've been here for 4.5 years, and I guess, for one last time, thanks for watching CU Sports Mag, and they'll all see you next semester. But thank you.
Woo!